Well, E85 and winter, they don't mix that well. But that was a sort of a cold start on the EVO 8. So now here's a cold start on my 2010 EVO 10, and it's a little bit quieter, not as race car like, but here it is. I don't know, what do you guys think sounds better? EVO 10, EVO 8? I don't know, I like both, but let's pull this one back and in. Then I'm gonna give you guys an overview of each and let you know why I think you should own both an EVO 8 and an EVO 10. It's kind of the best of both worlds. So let's back this in and then I'll show you guys each car. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome back to another vlog, and I am so sorry. I've been the worst YouTuber ever. It's been, what, 2 weeks since I posted a video? So in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys a brief overview of my EVO 8, my EVO 10, and if you guys had to pick one, I'm going to try and make that decision the easiest possible for you. So let's do a brief overview of each, and then I'll let you guys make your decision. So behind me, this is my EVO 8. It's a 2004 EVO 8 SSL, so it's like the sun, sound, and leather. And then here is my very, very dirty EVO 10. It has been snowing. As you guys can see, they decided to pile up all the snow here at our apartment. And so this one has been the daily. It's got the better tires on it. This one's the garage queen during the winter. I don't really drive it that much, but that's why it is so clean and sparkly. So here are my two babies. I've had this car about 7 or 8 months now, and I've had this car 2 months now. So funny thing about the EVO 10, if you guys are new to the channel, I bought this with a bad transmission, ended up finding a used transmission. This is an EVO 10 MR, so it does have the dual clutch. Ended up swapping that in, and I haven't had any issues with it since. This is Grace's car. I actually bought this for my girlfriend, so I kind of drive it on a daily basis. She drives it on kind of the weekends and the nights when she gets off of work, because she works like 2 minutes from where we live. So I drive this most of the time, but she definitely drives it a good bit and gets to enjoy it. And then, like I said, this is my absolute baby. This is the car that I'm going to try and make about 800 wheel when it's all said and done. This car currently is about 400 wheel horsepower and absolutely rips. I love this car. It's my favorite car I've ever owned. It's nothing like the Focus RS was. A lot of people ask me, they're like, oh, do you miss the Focus RS? You know, not that much. So I don't know, what do you guys think? What looks better, EVO 10, EVO 8? I'm assuming most of you guys are gonna say the EVO 8, but I do have a lot of love for the EVO 10, and the dual clutch in this thing is absolutely awesome. All right, now here is what I know everybody wants to see. So a lot of people have always asked me, what do you have done to your EVO 8 now? Pretty much everything that's on the car, I bought the car with, besides the turbo. So let's start in. To go over turbo, this is a billet 20G, so slightly bigger than stock, and this car actually dynoed at about 430 wheel. So really, really good turbo. It spools a little bit later than the stock EVO 9 turbo I had, but it definitely has a lot more top end than the previous turbo. We've got a tile blow-off valve. I did have coil on plugs, but they started to go bad, so we ended up throwing the stalkers back on for now, and we're not getting any spark blowout. So far so good, but I definitely need to order a new coil pack system, because yeah, if I want to make more power, that's just not gonna work. Now we have the AMS battery tie down. We have a very, very small Odyssey battery, which I haven't had any issues with. Some people say I should go big battery and route it to the trunk, but so far I haven't had any issues. Now for injectors, I've got 1050 FICs. I've got a 255 Walbro pump, which I haven't run out of pump. I haven't run out of injectors yet, but in the future, I'm definitely going to have to get that upgraded. Now we have a dual radium catch can, one on that side, one on this side. I'm not sure. I've gotten a lot of questions what manifold I'm running, and to be honest, I don't know. Now I've also got an MA Performance external dump right there. I don't know if you can see it. It is wrapped for heat protection, and honestly, it sounds so good under wide open throttle. Now, that's basically all the mods I have done. So we have a full turbo back, we have an aftermarket manifold, we have a billet 20G turbo, tile wastegate, 1050cc injectors, 255 Walbro pump, fully 85, and this car, like I said, dynoed at about 430 wheel. Now I am in Colorado, so we're at like 7,000 feet above sea level, so we're definitely losing a little bit of power. I'm sure this turbo setup would make probably 500 wheel at sea level, which would be sick. But up here, it's a little bit down on power, but don't worry, more power is coming soon. Now come down to the wheels. Now these are some knockoffs. These are Rotas. They're not anything special, but I really like the way they look. Now we painted these like a glossy metallic gray, and I absolutely love the way these look. So I'd love to get some different wheels here in the future, but I mean, honestly, I just love the way this car looks right now. And then you see this right here? We don't talk about that, okay? Yep. Now we get to the interior of the Evo 8, and this is honestly my favorite place to be. I love this car. Evo 10's great. The interior of the Evo 8 is by far my absolute favorite. It's such an enjoyable cockpit. Steering wheel is very simple, very nice, fits nice in the hand. I do want to get a steering wheel wrap, like a suede. I know some companies have those, and I really like the way they look. It'll make it a little less slippery, and I think it would be a great addition to the interior. So very basic. You guys can see I have the AEM boost gauge and then AEM air to fuel ratio. Now I don't really like where these sit because I can't see how much fuel I have. So, you know, say I'm sitting here driving, I don't know how much fuel. And if you guys know, E85 gets really bad gas mileage, and I need to know how much fuel. So I kind of have to like lean over here to the side. I'm like, oh, all right, I need fuel. In the future, I'd love to get a gauge pod that goes right here so I can move these over here, just kind of free up some space. But these did come with the car. They're pretty expensive, so I'm not complaining. I just like to put them somewhere where it's a little bit more convenient. Now, I do have the 5-speed. I don't have the 6-speed, which I know some people like, but most people prefer the 5-speed. Transmission on this car feels really solid. It's very easy to bang gears. I haven't had any transmission issues at all. I have a stage 2 clutch. I'm not sure what brand. Like I said, whatever the car came with is what it still has, but we will be doing a twin disc here in the near future. I know the Evo 8 SSL used to come with leather seats, but whoever had it previously swapped these in, which I honestly like these better than the leather because I don't slide around in these very much, and I honestly like the way they look. They're no Evo 9 interior, but they get the job done, especially me being 6'4". I really like the way I fit in these. Now that's another thing, me being 6'4", it's very hard to find cars that I fit in and I feel comfortable in, but this, nice and bolstered, feel really good, never have any issues. I've driven this car probably 2 to 3 hours at a time, and I really don't get any back pain, I'm not uncomfortable. It's a really enjoyable place to be. So I really want your guys' opinions. This is my baby, this is really what I want to mod. Like I said, I'd love to do an 800 wheel horsepower build on this here in the future. But let me know in the meantime what mods you guys want to see me do to this. It's pretty basic how it is so far, just basic bolt-ons, a little bit bigger turbo, fully 85, and that's about it. So if you guys want to see me mod the Evo 8, let me know what I should do. I've got a few mods planned for the Evo 10 over there, but I don't really have anything planned for this. So if there's something you guys want to see, let me know down below. Moving on from my beautiful Evo 8, here we have the Evo 10. Some people say it's not an Evo, but I have fallen in love with this car. As a daily driver, as something that you can just hop in, turn the key and go. This car is amazing. So you guys can see, I need to get a new front bumper or a new front lip because it is pretty destroyed from the previous owner. So aesthetically from the front, it's not the best looking, but the side profile of this thing, really mean. We ended up spraying the wheels on this as well. It does have the BBSs. It is a Evo 10 MR. It's a 2010. So I think it's the Touring Edition. Not 100% sure. It's very dirty. So we actually just installed an ETS V2 quiet exhaust on this, and I love the way it sounds. Now I do want to get a test pipe for this car and a downpipe because, you know, it's an Evo and we need people to know we're driving an Evo. So here it is. Let me know what you guys think. I know some of you hate this car, some of you love this car, but I bought it for my girl so she can have something that she really enjoys to drive. It's basically stock right now, but I really love this car. Now these seats are amazing. You got that little carbon fiber right there, you got the Recaro up there, and these are super comfortable. And like I said, I'm a taller guy. I'm about 6'4", 220-ish pounds right now, and these seats are so comfortable. Now you guys know I owned a 2018 Focus RS, and while that car was amazing, the interior was really nice for what it was, the seats were awful. If you weren't 140 pounds and super thin, you will not enjoy being in that car. But with this, I've got the nice Rockford Fosgate sound system, I've got the navigation, which is very outdated but still pretty nice. I love this car. I know I need a shift knob. I was supposed to get it sent to me by the previous owner, but I still haven't gotten it. So here it is. Like I said, this is the EVO 10 MR, so it does have the dual clutch, which I know the transmissions are not great, but when they're working, they're amazing. I actually have a buddy that's doing an EVO 10 build, and he's going for about 600 wheel on a fully built transmission, built motor in his EVO 10. So I'm super excited to see his videos on that if he ends up making them, and I'm really curious to see if it's cool, because I think someday it would be really, really fun to have a 600 wheel horsepower dual clutch EVO. I can't imagine how crazy that would be. So I don't know, is that something you guys would want to see? I don't think I've seen anybody on YouTube do an EVO 10 MR with a built transmission in over like 400 wheel. I know these transmissions are good for like 350 foot-pounds of torque. I think it'd be really, really fun to do a 600 wheel horsepower build on the EVO 10 MR, because I mean, 600 wheel and a dual clutch, like, come on, what's better than that? So let me know, EVO 10 MR fully built? Like EVO 8s, it's just, they're so cool, but I feel like everybody has built an EVO 8. There's some that are 1,000 horsepower, 1,200 horsepower. Like, if I do an 800 horsepower build, it would be really, really fast, really fun, really scary. But I think this would be a little more unique. I want to hear your guys' opinions on what you would rather see me build, because this thing would be a monster. Now, this does have 118,000 miles on it. The EVO 8 has 116, I believe. I bought it with 111. So I've put, I don't know, 5,000 miles on it. Not bad for owning it for about 7 months. I've only owned this 2, but I've already put 2,000 miles on it. So, well, what do you say? Let's take this out on a drive and try and show you guys a little bit of a POV of how the EVO 10 drives. Now, before I drive it, I like to make sure it has a little bit of heat in the motor, in the transmission, make sure the fluid's nice and warm so I don't break anything sooner than I'm already going to. So let's let it warm up and then we'll take it out on a spin. Now, with the transmission, when you're driving, if you want to put it in manual mode, you bring it down to drive and you pull it right to the left, and then it lets you use the paddles over here. You can also shift with this right here, but I'm not a big fan of that. So you guys can see I'm in 4th gear now. Over here on the left is how you downshift. So I wanted to show you guys how quick it actually downshifts. So you guys can see I'm gonna pull it, 3rd, 2nd. It's so quick how it shifts. And then you just put your foot down, and this car absolutely rips. But yeah, we're in 3rd right now. I can't imagine, if we tune this car, it's gonna be a rocket ship. Now, I can't imagine what this car would be like with a downpipe, a test pipe, and E85. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I told myself I wouldn't do E85 on this, but I really, really want more power. And I know this transmission should be able to hold like another 50 wheel. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Would you want to see an E85 conversion on this and see how fast the EVO 10 MR can be? Because I know these motors with full bolt-ons and a tune should be good for about 350 wheel. So if that's something you guys want to see, let me know. But yeah, it's like when you're driving, pull a gear up and it shifts. It's so quick. I love this car. Driving this car is so much fun. But compared to my EVO 8, I mean, it doesn't plant you in the seat like it does, but this car never stops pulling because it's always, you know, in the power band. Now, I'm still waiting on one of my buddies to come down from Denver because I really want to race his Focus RS, which is bone stock, because I think this is gonna win. I think the way this stays in power, you don't have to shift, it kind of just shifts for you once you pull the paddle. I think it'll win. All right, I'll do a 1st gear pull for you guys. See what you think. This car boogies. I am telling you, this car is quick. And don't worry, we're in Mexico, okay? Handle's really nice. Put your foot down. Man, it just rips. I love this car. It's so fun. If you guys haven't driven an EVO 10 MR with the dual clutch, please don't knock it until you try it, because I was so against this car. I was like, how are you gonna make an EVO with an automatic transmission? The 4B11s already get enough crap, but drive this car and I'm telling you, your opinion will change. Man, I'm still really torn on which car I like to drive better. Let me know down below, what would you guys rather have, the EVO 10 or an EVO 8? And I totally forgot to mention about the EVO 8. Now, the motor is basically stock. It does have ARP head studs and it does have S1 cams. So mildly sort of built head, not really, but we are planning on doing a full motor build soon, way bigger turbo, and this thing is going to be an absolute monster. It's already pretty quick, but it's going to be even quicker. So there you guys have it. This is my EVO 8. You guys have seen the way this drives, and you have seen the way the EVO 10 drives. So let me know down below, what would you guys rather have? I think at the end of the day, the EVO 8 is a much more fun, raw experience, but the EVO 10 is just such an easy car to drive, a really, really nice daily, and that's kind of why I have both. This is my race car, my track car, my really, really fun car, and this is the daily. But if you guys enjoyed this video, smash the like button. Let me know what you thought. I love these cars. I don't plan on ever getting rid of either one. I'd love to add more cars in, but this car, I got such a good deal on it, I'll never sell it. So some of you that are new to the channel don't know how much I paid. I paid $7,000 for that car the way it sits. It had motor, big turbo, well not big turbo, but EVO 9 turbo. This car right here, I paid a little bit more money for. This was $9,500, and then I ended up having to buy a transmission, which was $1,200 bucks, but still a little over $10,000 for this car. That's a lot of car for the money. Now this was the deal of a lifetime. I don't think I'll ever get as good of a deal on a car as I got on this, but you never know. I'm kind of the deal guy, so if I find a good deal on something else, I'll probably end up picking it up. Really good deals on both cars. That's what I like to do. I like to find cool cars that are unique, really, really cheap, and I like to drive them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. I know it's a little bit shorter. I'm not racing, I'm not modding the car, but I figured a lot of you guys would be entertained to hear what I have done to the EVO 8 and what I have done to the EVO 10, even though it's not much, in my opinion, on both. If you guys enjoyed the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know what videos you want to see here in the future, and I will see you guys in the next one.
I like everything about it.